Hey everyone, I am making an appeal for you to give to our local public school in Nettelhorst. And I'm going to tell you why, and I've been thinking a lot about this, so bear with me as I step up onto my soapbox. I've lived in the neighborhood for more than 10 years. We moved here specifically because of the Nettelhorst School and the vibrant community around it, including the businesses. And I didn't even know that Nettelhorst was doing fundraising for all those years that I lived here. And now that I have a kindergartner, of course, I want everything that the school has to offer to stay and grow. And the reality is, due to our education funding at the state level, we are not fully funded. No school in Chicago that's a public school is fully funded. And that sucks. But what can we do today? Today, we can fill the gap. If you love the programs that you have and the excellent teachers that support the school, that have that I don't want to say tenure in the official sense, but like experience and love and dive in that extra mile. If you love all the arts programming and extracurriculars and that amazing share out Halloween, if you love all those things, all the extra technology and studios and amazing teachers that dedicate their time to teach our kids how to produce music and videos and have extracurriculars, if you love all that, if that to you was the baseline on why you chose this neighborhood and this school, the reality is that is all technically extra on what the funding that the school gets. And we have to fill that gap. And it is our obligation to right now. So I'm asking you to give what you can and to call your local businesses that you support, to call your family and ask them to give. Or through the course of the year, we need to make more than $300,000 to hold. So it's over $300,000 just to maintain what we have. And we do that every year. So every single year, the PTO raises up to over $300,000 to just have the school operate the way that you're experiencing it today. So if we don't fill that budget, then we are going to see our school impacted. And that affects the choices that we make, that affects how our school engages, that affects the means and the resources that we have. And I'm passionate about this because I chose to live here over 10 years ago because of the school. The businesses that thrive on that block thrive because of that school. Our community is economically sound because that school exists. Whether your kids go there or not, whether you like it or not, whether we think that state funding should change, doesn't matter. That statistically and all the research proves that a vibrant local school drives community and economic development and safety and resources and infrastructure. And so the entire community, whether we have kids, whether you're an older person with no kids, whether you use the community and you live outside of it, it is our responsibility to make sure that this public school survives and thrives and excels. So one, we need to make sure that we are supporting the current budgeting that has occurred years before I got involved and years to come. But two, if you don't like this, and you shouldn't, this should be outrageous to you. Do not take it out on the school. Call your state representative. Take it out on the state. The state is trying to pit Chicago public schools against the rest of the state schools, and that's a bullshit fight because everyone should have adequate education funding. That is a core right, and the basis of a vibrant democracy is education and early childhood education all the way through high school. And I believe that that should be done at a state level with better federal funding. But that is not a local school council fight. That is a state fight. So I want you to do two things today. One, I need you to figure out how you can give or how you can get someone with the means to give on your behalf, right? Because we all have skin in this game. And this is a pillar of our community. So when you give to the school can allocate resources for all those additional needs. And the school is a public entity that is fully transparent. And so if you want to know where the money's going, you can go to a local school council meeting and find out. And I encourage you to get more involved in your neighborhood. But two, call your state representative, because if you don't want me to do this to you in 5 years or next year or the year after, we have to change the system at the state level. And so if you're exhausted from this, you're like, this is silly, do what you can do today to keep our school the way it is. And Write an email or call your state representative or sign a petition, and let's start leaning on our state to get their shit together and fund education, because there is enough money. We just need to reallocate it. There are the means. We need to make sure they're prioritized on education, and education drives economic growth, civic involvement, cultural diversity, economic viability, social services. All of those are wraparounds on a vibrant local school. And so I know this video is longer than 3 minutes, and I know all of you are exhausted from this, but I need you to understand that yes, we have to do this, and yes, it's stupid that we have to do this. So let's do it this year, and let's drive and mobilize to make sure that we don't have to do this in 5 years. So thank you. That is my soapbox. And all the things that I mentioned that we love about this school, the arts, the education, all the extracurriculars, all the electives, all those extra teachers, the fact that we can afford to pay experienced teachers, that is all on top of the money that we get. We get funding based on the number of students in our school, not the quality of teachers, not the quality of facilities, not the quality of the extracurriculars. We get funding based on the number of little kid bodies in that school. And so if you want quality teachers that are invested and have great education, that have tenure and longevity, that costs extra. If you want extracurriculars and nice facilities with modern amenities, that costs extra. If you want people that get involved in giving back in sports programs and all that extra stuff, that costs extra. And that drives our community, and we show up because of that extra. So yes, we want that. And yes, the state should fund it, because I don't think those are extras. I think those are essentials. And so let's fix the system. But today, let's make sure those exist next year. So let's do the work today by giving to our local school. We want more than what we've asked for. We need more than 150. We're going to come back in the winter. We're going to come back in the spring. Let's just own it right now. We need $300,000 this year. And you can figure out how to budget for that. But let's start this today. And let's start calling our state to make sure that not our neighborhood or any neighborhood in this city or in this state should have to fight this hard for adequate public education. So take this fight with me. Know that I'm doing this for the benefit of our community. We're not going anywhere. We are all here, and we have the means and the time to make a difference for this year and for future years. So give today, and let's take the fight to the state tomorrow. Thank you all so much.